Hello and a very good evening and welcome to the Hampton Netball Show for another Wednesday night. Great to have your company. Round 6 action this weekend in the Hampton Football Netball League and brought to you by our major sponsors, Southwest TAFE, Powercore. We've got McDonald's and SunGold Fresh Local Milk. Great to have those sponsors on board once again for 2023, plus all of our other supporting and platinum sponsors. Great to have you guys on board. Obviously 3YB Coast FM, the Carter Group, Miss Kit. The list just goes on and we'll highlight those over the course of the show. Kate Lindsay, back by popular return. Great to have you back again, buddy.
Thank you. I'm feeling quite underdressed, sitting next to you with your lovely knit on.
Yes, I've been covering hammering by a big fella in the footy show about the knit. I had a couple of parent meetings today, so I just wanted to look
good. You look
good.
the part. Absolutely.
Hey, big show tonight. We're going to go straight to the Zoom and catch up. Well, I'm going to say from the comforts of the Stevens bus, because we've got Emily Stevens, we've got Piper Stevens, and also Elsie Sinnott, all from the Camperdown Magpies joining us. Girls, a very good evening.
Hello. Hello. Hey, Hilly. Hey, Kate. How you going?
Going super. And, well, this is the first for the Netball Show. We've never had 3 guests in the one sitting. So,
it's wonderful.
It's absolutely terrific. Great to have the Camperdown girls on. We're going to start off with Piper. Piper, how's the season been thus far? A very young side this year at Camperdown. How are you enjoying the experience playing in the Open Division with a lot of, I guess, younger teammates?
Well, it's been really good because there's more people around my age. And, yeah, it's been good going in Open.
Now, Elsie, you come up against, some of the best goal attacks in the league each week when you're running in defence. How are you managing that? Because it obviously would be a step up from the junior level that you're used to.
Yeah, it's been really different and it's been challenging, but, we've got a really good supportive team and it's been really enjoyable. And I guess learning and playing on tougher players has been really good. You learn lots, so it's been really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Hey, Piper, I want to ask you the big question. And obviously a bit of pressure because you've got someone behind you that could give you a little clip on the ear if you don't get the answer right. How's it been playing under Mum? Obviously, Mum's a very decorated netball, a Camperdown legend in my mind. How are you enjoying playing under Mum as the Open Division coach this year?
It's been really good. It's taught me a lot.
I got my hands here.
It's been really good.
Hey, I saw on the weekend that you welcomed back Emma Wright to your side, which is fantastic to firstly have her back in the league, but secondly, obviously fantastic to provide a bit of experience to your young side. What does she bring that helps you on the court?
Oh, she's awesome, Kate. She's been overseas for a few weeks, but we hit her up to see if she'd come back, and she didn't think twice about it. She hasn't played since 2019, so her first touch of the ball on the weekend, there was a bit of a roar and a bit of excitement. But she's a stalwart. She's a champion of our club and the league, as we know. But she's brilliant for our young girls. She was directing, she was guiding, she had voice. She was just a bigger presence, a body on the court for our younger, smaller bodies. And we gave her 3 quarters, so we gave her a little rest. She was a bit tuckered out after the warm up, so we thought we gave her a quarter off, but she's worth her weight in gold. She's been awesome.
Hey, Em, what's the morale been like with the girls in the team? Obviously, we look at the scores. There's been a few big margins, but I guess it's not about the scores for you guys this year. It's the development of the young girls, getting used to playing that standard of netball. What's the morale been like, and how are the girls going each week?
Yeah, Hilly, it's one of those ones that you would think that they'd get a little bit disheartened. We've had 40, 50, probably 50, 60 goal losses, but I think that's the beauty of a young team. They're going in realistic and they've got nothing to lose. They're looking after each other. They're like little sponges. They're taking on everything that you're saying, and we do a reflection sort of after each game and look at our things that we're doing really well. And I think it's so exciting what we've got, and that's what they're just loving netball, and they're loving to learn, and they're loving the challenge when they go out and they play the likes of a Cobden and a South. And no offense to all the big names out there, but we sort of say, oh, you'll be playing on Sophie, or you'll be playing on particular names, and they sort of look at you like, oh, who's that? And you're like, oh man, doesn't matter, that's okay. So they're sort of giving each other high fives as they come off and saying good work. And the morale is still really high, and they're no drama. They're an incredible little bunch to be part of. Really, it's just awesome. It's so exciting, and we sort of haven't taken the losses to heart. We know that there's going to be challenge every single week, so we look at our own centres and our own game and look at the wins that we have through that. Really.
It's awesome, and I just love how positive you are. And it's obviously it's tough for the girls, but I love that you're giving them little individual goals each week to tick off. For you, Elsie and Piper, you're now heading into interleague training. So how are you enjoying playing rep netball? Obviously, then you're balancing your junior commitments and your senior commitments with Camperdown.
I've been finding it really good. It's good to get to play with some of the girls that we come up against, I guess, and you might play them on the weekend but then you get to come together and it's all a bit of fun. And then, I don't know, it's really enjoyable. You see them and see all their strengths, and it's great to get to play with that too. So.
What about you, Piper? Are you enjoying interleague?
Yeah, I really like it because playing seniors, you can play with people your own age still in interleague, and you can take things that you learn from seniors down into interleague and share with others, I guess.
Absolutely.
Hey, and one last one before we better get these girls, because I don't want Coach Wall and Coach O'Sullivan giving us a little texty going, hey, where are the young ones? They should have been here 5 minutes ago. Koroit this week, I reckon a great challenge again. Obviously, they've got a pretty young side with some experience. So, again, you guys will just go in with a nothing to lose attitude, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I guess we know that we've known from the start that it's going to be tough, but I feel like each week we're improving as a team and we work really well together, and it's a great environment to be around. So it's been really enjoyable. So we'll go at it this weekend.
Hey girls, love your work. Emily Stevens and a couple of the young guns in Elsie Sinnott and Piper Stevens. Thanks for jumping on the Netball show tonight, girls. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, guys. Good job.
Thank you.
3 legends there in the Stevens bus, that's for sure. And they'll be off to netball training. But great, I love their upbeat. They're positive, and they're playing netball. That's the best thing. And
they're enjoying it. You know, it would be really easy for them to, stop enjoying netball and feel like they're not achieving anything. But the way that Em talks, the little goals that they're ticking off each week, they've got a fantastic future. And if they can keep that core group of players together, they're going to be wonderful in years to come.
They're going to be awesome because they've got 2 great leaders.
Correct.
Megan Titmus obviously doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work along with Emily Stevens. 2 great leaders, so terrific. Hey, let's go to Cobden. One of my favourite players. She's an absolute superstar, and well, she won the league best and fairest last year. She goes all right at the Cape, and I'll speak to Remini McCann. She's been kind enough to join us. Rem, thanks for jumping on.
Thanks for having me, Trent and Kate.
Hey, great to have you on, buddy. I'm just thinking, I was sitting here, obviously 6-8 months ago, and we're talking about your league best and fairest win. What a great season you had last year from an individual point of view. How have you started this year?
Oh, I don't know. I think I put too much pressure on myself, I think. No, it's been an interesting stepping back on the court. I think it's hard to come back to netball after having a successful personal accolade. I've always said to the girls I'd rather win 10 premierships than win a league best and fairest. But no, we've started the season off strong, but can't expect to be playing 100% netball at the start of the season. So improvements.
I love it.
That's good. Hey, Rem, you've welcomed a few familiar faces back to the club in the off-season, which is fantastic, and it's strengthened all of your sides. What is it about Cobden, do you think, that attracts these players to come back and continue their netball there?
Our culture, Kate. For the last 5 years, ever since Nads has been there, really, Nads has worked really hard on creating a culture and an environment where everyone can come and be comfortable. And we also want to be successful. We are still chasing that ultimate success, but I think Nads has changed the whole dynamic of our netball club, and obviously a lot of other people behind the scenes as well, and having Sophie back as well. But that structure within our netball program is admirable. I know for me, it's something that keeps taking me back there as well. So I'll give every credit to them.
Speaking to Sophie a couple of times in the off-season, obviously she said, the main motivation no doubt would be trying to win that elusive premiership, but she said this year she's going to try and make sure there's other motivations for the playing group as well, maybe for that, that improvement for each individual player. So has she sort of stressed that to you guys that, that motivation for the premiership's still got to be really high, but there's got to be other motivations you guys have got to sort of work towards as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all have so much respect for each other on the court and off the court. We're all great mates. Sometimes our personal work is probably what comes undone on the court as a team, because we all, being so close to that success a few times now, I think it's easy to jump out on the court. We know each other, but it comes down to personal things as well, I guess. It's so much more than a game of netball. I guess mindset has a lot to do with it. If you can get ourselves right and our mindset and physically, obviously, I think we'll be able to come together as a whole team and a collective even better.
And Rem, we've known for years that you've been so dominant in goalkeeper, but this year I've watched a couple of times and you've been moving out to goal defence and having a little bit of a run around. Is the move behind that just to create a little bit more versatility in the team, or is that something that you put your hand up to sort of have a run in a different position?
No, I certainly don't get a choice in that matter. To be honest, I think I've got a little bit too comfortable back in goalkeeper. But no, I think our versatility in our side is ridiculous. So if you look at our defensive end, you've got myself, Nadine, Sarah, Lara Taylor. We've also got Jess McGlade back playing at the club as well. Sophie Blaine, Alicia Blaine, they can all play defence as well. I think we've just got so much versatility in there, changing what's going on down there. And I think having that, we can change that to what matchups we have on the day. But yeah, I don't mind where Sophie puts me. I know she puts me there for a reason, so I just roll with it.
Hey, Rem, I love the goal shooters, and obviously you're the opposite. You probably despise the goal shooters because you don't want them shooting goals on you. But I've just been amazed by the form of Emily Finch. You've got to get the supply from your mid-quarters, and obviously it starts from your defence, and you guys are all in it together. But to shoot the numbers that she's shooting at the moment, it's just astronomical.
Yeah, I think Em has just stepped it up a whole nother level this year. She's going out there and she has got something to prove this year because she's smashing it. I mean, not only the feed, you've got the feeds from Jamie and Sophie in there. I think they just work all so well together. But Em has just taken it up another notch and she's not afraid to look at that goal and put it up. So, yeah, I think she's playing really, really well.
Now, Rem, let's switch to Interleague. You've been selected in the open side and you are one player that is there every year, and it's so wonderful to have a player of your calibre that wants to represent the Hampton League. What are you most looking forward to, about going away to Melbourne for the weekend?
I love going away to Melbourne, and like Elsie said, it is so good to get to go and mingle with the girls from the other sides and get to know them on a more personal level. I think it is great that we've got some juniors fresh out of under-17s last year coming up and playing in our side as well, in Melly Jennings, Meg and Madsy. I think they will bring a whole different dynamic to our team as well. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I think it's just more so for that personal level. And like what the Camperdown girls said, it brings a different dynamic to your own game, going up and playing a level like that. But you learn so much from it, and having the opportunity to be coached by other people as well. I think knowledge is power. So.
Hey, Rem, it's always a pleasure to have you on, buddy. Love your work. You're an absolute superstar in my mind, and just keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for coming on the Netball show tonight, and the Bombers are going beautifully, so keep up the good work.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Trent and Kate.
Thanks, Rem.
Rem and McCann from the Cobden Bombers.
You're a fan, aren't you?
I've been a big fan. I love her defensive work, and her appetite for the contest, and just her willingness. Like, she's just, if you were looking, and we speak about, a number of netballers, but if you look at someone, you've got a young kid going through a program, and you're going, you want to be a good defender.
You want to be a Remini McCann.
Go to Cobden and go watch Remini McCann. Do about it. She's a gun.
And she's so positive on court. She's obviously an incredible player, but what she does is bring everyone else up around her. And the way that those defenders work in their unit, it's incredible. The fact that they can all move amongst positions and have the exact same effect is a credit to what they're doing.
Yeah, what I love about Cobden, all leaders on the court.
Yeah.
You look at every one of those names. Emily Finch is a leader. Jamie Finch is a leader. Remedy McCann, the Blaine girls, even the young Taylor twins. They've been in the system a couple of years now.
Correct.
They've all got those leadership qualities, and that's what I really think that sometimes Cobden stand out because they've got so many great leaders on the court. It's not just the one player leading the charge. All of them are leaders. So, love the way the Bombers going about it. It's good.
Agreed. They're very good.
Let's look at our round 5 highlights. Some great games of netball over the course of the weekend. First game was the Warrnambool Blues taking on the Croydon Saints, and Aripa won this one.
Yeah, it was pretty close, and the conditions were good for netball. It was a perfect day. It was probably a scrappier game than we would have liked, but Croydon broke away sort of in the second quarter and took control of the game from there. Warrnambool rotated 4 through goals again, and it wasn't probably till half time when they put Amy Wormwood in there that there was a real difference. So it's a challenge for them because they're robbing their defence end to put her in goals.
It's good to see Meg Carlin shooting a few goals for her new side, the Warrnambool Blues.
I know, she was great.
The old art trial was Cobden taking on the Camperdown Magpies. And listen, Cobden, we knew they were going to get the job done. It was going to be a large score, but I reckon the learnings that Camperdown would have got playing against this experienced side would have been absolutely beneficial. There's Remy just passing the ball there and doing it beautifully. But 81-27, Emily Finch, 65 goals, was sensational.
Yeah.
Piper Stevens, 11 goals too, and against a couple of really nice sound defenders.
Great, and I actually looked at the quarter by quarter, and Camperdown increased their score every quarter, which is fantastic for them.
Absolutely. Let's look at the next game. Portland taking on the North Warrnambool Eagles. The Eagles got the job done, 53-42. And the Eagles, we know what they're capable of. They've got some great players in there. Maddie Vardy just leading the charge. Maisie Barlow as well. Sky
Yes, and they had Matilda Sewell back on the weekend, which obviously pushed Maddie Vardy up into the centre position, which is where she does the most damage. And I just think when they have a settled side, they're going to be really, really strong.
Geez, the netball courts look good over there at Portland, don't they?
They do, and good spectator facilities too with the grandstand, as long as the sun's not out.
Hey, Portland, Cobden, they've all lifted their netball facilities, which is great. It's great that there's money being put into that infrastructure for these. And
it gives them the opportunity to potentially host finals.
Yeah.
With the facilities that they've got. So it's great for the league.
There's a couple of games we didn't have vision for, and the first one being Port Fairy and Terang Mortlake. Port Fairy 28 to Terang Mortlake 68. So 40-goal win.
Yeah.
Bloods are going beautifully.
They are. They're fantastic. And I actually had I spoke to Shani last night because I wanted to sense check a couple of the stats on the weekend. So made their debut, and it's fantastic that they're bringing players up from under 15s and under 17s and supporting their team. And the fact that Shani has faith to bring these young girls on is incredible.
I'm hearing only good things about Shani. I've heard some great things. What a great appointment! It could be a good coach for the next couple of seasons, and to get this next group, playing some regular finals netball. And the last game is South Warrnambool. That was 62, defeated Hamilton 39. I must admit the scoreline did surprise me a little bit. I was expecting that it might have been lesser in margin, but geez, South Warrnambool are a good side, aren't they?
Fantastic. And the lines down on Hamilton's unbeaten start to the season, and I think everyone expected it to be a really close game. It was a close first quarter. South were only up by 4, and then they sort of put the foot down, which is what they tend to do. Their endurance and they're fit, so I think their ability to run out full 60 minutes is fantastic. And Holly Phillips was on fire with 51 goals.
And they would have been loving having Annie Blackburn back by her side. She was overseas for a couple of weeks, wedding over there, but she's back, and the Batman and Robin of South Warrnambool working beautifully together, that is for sure. I know we haven't got the visual. I just want to go quickly through the ladder. So our top 5, South Warrnambool undefeated on top, followed by Cobden with a 4-1 record. Hamilton have got 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. In third spot, Terang Mortlake 3-2, and then Warrnambool holding the 5th position, only by percentage with a 3-2 record. Outside the 5, Croydon 3-2, North Warrnambool 3-2, Portland, Camperdown and Port Fairy yet to open their account. I expect the wins to come over the next few weeks for Portland, Camperdown, Port Fairy, but realistically, wow, 7 sides. It's going to be tight all the year round, I think.
Yeah, and I think I love the halfway point of the season because that's when everyone's played everyone. You can have a look at the ladder and see where everyone sits. But you look at that, there's probably 4 sides vying for that you know, 4th down, and it's going to be an incredible end to the season, I think.
How's South Warrnambool? I love the goals scored and goals against. South Warrnambool have only leaked 140. 140 goals in 5 games. That's
What's that
what,
per game?
what, just under 28 or something or other?
Incredible.
It is 28.
And I think that the thing, South, their defence starts with their goal shooter, like every side should, but they are so disciplined with that. So, you know, it's not very often that they're missing goals, but if they do, they're not relying on their back line to get it. They are stopping balls before they get through, and to have only that many scored against you is oh, wow.
They've scored 353, so my quick calculations, they're averaging 70 goals a game and conceding 28. Wow.
Yeah.
That's monstrous.
That's good numbers.
That's great numbers.
Yeah, it is. Keeping in mind, obviously, they haven't played Cobden.
Yeah,
yet,
that's right.
Which is going to be a fantastic game.
Oh, and they haven't played North Warrnambool as well.
Yeah.
There's a few games. Yeah, I realise that, but it just, the early start's pretty good.
Promising signs.
Hey, let's look at round 6 action. Our match of the day on Hampton League Live is Terang Mortlake taking on South Warrnambool. It's going to be a ripper contest in the football, an almighty contest in the netball as well. Ebony Knights playing some nice netball. Shani's got them firing at Terang Mortlake. Hey, they give themselves a sniff against the Roosters, even though the Roosters, with the numbers I've just mentioned, are going all right.
They are. I think, you know, Terang are a very different side to last year. So, you know, you think about South, the team that they would have come up against last year is very different. So for Will, it's probably a little bit of the unknown. And I like that. I like that there's new players in the league. I think it will be a fantastic match, and I think Terang will really take it to them. But I don't see them beating South.
No, I'm on the Roosters bandwagon there. I think they'll get the job done. But I think Terang Mortlake have got the capabilities to push them. Hamilton host Warrnambool. I reckon this is an intriguing battle as well. Blues coming off a loss, Hamilton coming off a loss. I know that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this one will be played at Melville Oval. Is there the netball's being moved to the other Petrina Park or something or other?
And they actually South and Hamilton played there on the weekend. I think South swapped their home game or something.
Yes.
Apparently the courts are fantastic.
Yeah.
So
been a bit of money put into them, I think.
Yeah, I think it's disappointing, obviously, that you wouldn't have the crowd that you do when football and netball are together. But the playing surface and player safety is the number one priority. And from all reports, it's a fantastic surface. So I think it will be exciting for Hamilton to play more games there.
Yep. Who do you reckon?
I think Hamilton, but yeah, as you say, both coming off losses, both have points to prove, but I think Hamilton will beat.
Yeah, I'm on the Kangaroos. As I said from the start of the year, they're my big improvers, along with Terang Mortlake. Camperdown take on Koroit up at the Lura Oval. Koroit are going nicely, and you've got a good insight into the Saints on how they're trekking. But I just still think that each week we're seeing some really good improvement from Camperdown.
Yeah, I think so too, and I'm looking forward to this. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing all the Camperdown kids. I think it's such an exciting prospect for their club to have so many fantastic juniors, and obviously with a little bit of experience on court. I think Koroit will take the win, but I hope that it is a tough contest in terms of, it's a good game, it's a fair game, and everyone just enjoys themselves, because I think for Camperdown that's the most important thing, enjoy your netball.
You know what I'm looking forward to? I know it's a couple of weeks off, but I'm actually looking forward to when Port Fairy play Camperdown, because we know the age demographic of both lists. That's a game that I don't think you'd want to miss, because I think there's some really good young talent on show. We'll talk about that game in a couple of weeks' time, but I reckon that'll be a ripper. I'm going for Koroit as well. Cobden take on Portland. I obviously think Cobden, but I think Portland, when they get their games going and it's up and about, they play a really spunky brand of netball.
They absolutely do. Heidi Jones is the key for them, I think. I can't believe she's 19 years old, and she shoulders a lot of that attack end, and has played some really good netball this year to date. And I really love Remy Grant through the centre, and they've had a couple of new players come in, obviously a new coach, and they're still finding their feet. But they're a really nice side. But yeah, I do think Cobden will get the win against them.
Very well coached. I like the Bombers. I'm a big fan. I love, as I've sort of mentioned before, love the leadership they have on the court, and love Remy. Why wouldn't you love Remy McCann? She's a star. Absolute star. And the last game is North Warrnambool taking on the Port Fairy Seagulls. You tip North on this one, but again, you would hope that Port Fairy's emergence and continual improvement each week is going to give him, increase even more this Saturday.
And I think Port Fairy have improved since the first round. That's fantastic that they're continuing in that upward trajectory. I think North will win, and if they have a steady side, I'm fairly sure basketballers are playing away but can play the full game, hopefully. So that means Matilda Sewell will make herself available. And when they're lining up in that way with, Maddie Vardy in the middle, and it just gives them some more consistency in their lineup, I think they'll be really strong.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Eagles get the job done. Maddie's doing a great job out at Eagle Land or Eagle Park. I call it something different all the time. Eagle Park, we'll call it. Eagle Park. Hey, great show once again. Great to have the Camperdown girls, Elsie Sinnott, and obviously mother and daughter combination, Emily and Piper Stevens, on the show tonight, as well as Remedy McCann from the Cobden Bombers. Don't forget to support our sponsors, Southwest TAFE, McDonald's, SunGold Fresh Local Milk, and also Powercore, 4 of our great major sponsors of the Hampton Football Netball League, as well as all of our other supporting sponsors as well, Pit Stop Menswear, Miss Kit, the Warrnambool Racing Club, Warrnambool Football Club. We've got Brant, John Deere, No Fear. There's so much that we've got involved in the Hampton Football Netball League. We're so very, very lucky. Round 6 action, looking forward to it. Big shout out to Trish Butters. We know Trish is having just a little bit of a time away from the show, just for a couple of weeks, but she's tuning in each and every week, and she's giving some very good feedback. So that's all we worry about, Kate, is that netball's first lady in the Hampton Football Netball League. Yeah, she's happy. So a big shout out to Trish as well. Hope you enjoyed the show. We look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday night. Get out and support all of our netball teams over the course of the weekend in round 6 of the Hampton Netball Football League. We'll see you then.